Mabala the Farmer, a short story by Richard S. Mabala. Welcome to Teacher on Duty Online Media, and today I wish to present to you the continuation of form analysis of this short story, Mabala the Farmer, by Richard S. Mabala. To begin with the title. The title of the short story is Mabala the Farmer. This title relates to the content because the whole story is all about a man called Mabala who lives with his wife Mauja and his daughter Martina. Mabala has first shown as a man who does not know the principles of farming and not ready to learn from the villagers. He later coped with the village lifestyle and becomes a good person. The second form element is setting. The events take place in Tanzania, both in urban and rural subsettings. The urban setting is represented by Dar es Salaam city, whereby there is a big population of people, the transportation networks seem to be improved, and social services like hospitals are also available. The rural setting is marked by the use of a certain village in Morogoro, whereby Mabala lives, where the major economic activity is agriculture. But also, the Mutamaba presented in this short story, where people take local beverages, communal life system, like the way people joined the Mauja to build the house, still be indicators of a rural setting. What are the styles used by the writer to present message? Style number 1. The writers made the use of different techniques. Number 1. The use of oral tradition narrative style. And this refers to the old way of telling stories. The technique has been used in the song that the villagers were singing about Mabala. The song reads, "Once upon a time there was a farmer, a farmer, a farmer." So this is the old narrative technique. But also the writers made the use of dialogue in page number 4. In addition, the writers made the use of poetic style, whereby this has been used to deliver the intended message. Different songs have also been used in the book, like the song of Bwana Hambiliki, page number 24, and the song Maridadi Sana, page number 13. Language use. The language used in this short story is remarkably simple, straightforward, and well understood to readers. Although there is the frequent use of Swahili words that might pose a difficulty in understanding for readers who are not conversant with the language. The author has also made use of Swahili vocabularies like mzee, bwana shamba, mama Martina, chapati, bwana hambiliki, maridadi sana, just mentioning the few. The author has also made the use of the following language devices, including figurative use of language, or the use of figures of speech. Number 1, barbarism. The author has deviated from using English words to Kiswahili words for clarification. For example, some Swahili words have been used like mzee, bwana shamba, mama Martina, chapatis, bwana hambiliki, and so on. Number 2, the use of sayings. Different sayings have been used to pass the message across. For instance, once the water has been spilled, you can't pick it up again. Another notable saying states, if a child cries for a razor blade, give it to him, he will learn. Another figure of speech used is personification. This is evidenced when the writer says, plants never say thank you. Remember, only human beings can say thank you, but not some other inanimates. The last figurative language used, though some, is the use of onomatopoeia. These are the words which imitate the sounds of objects. The words thok, thok, thok in this short story have been used to represent the sound of a hole when Mauja was digging. Dear listeners, another form, category, and analysis is characters and characterization. The main character is Mabala. Who is Mabala in this short story? Mabala is the main character. He is Mauja's husband and a father of Martina. He is an extravagant person because he uses all his money for luxuries without saving for the future. And that is his notable weakness. Mabala never likes to be advised by people. He is also a drunkard. He is selfish, but also he is portrayed as having a changing behavior from a lazy man to a hard-working man. He is honest as he keeps well the village accounts. He is educated. Another character is Mauja. Mauja in this short story is Mama Martina, or Martina's mother. Mauja is Mabala's wife and Martina's mother. She is one among the few women who can tolerate life difficulties in their families. She never loses hope because of her husband's behavior. She works very hard to improve her family life. In town, for instance, she could sell chapatis, and the village but also she works very hard to the farm, somewhere in the farm, despite the laziness and ignorance of her husband. Mauja is very careful with money. She is also tolerant. Martina is another character in this short story. Martina is Mabala's daughter, born in Dar es Salaam. She feels humiliated because her fellow pupils at school laugh at her because of her father's drunkenness. Sekulu is another character. He is Mabala's neighbor. He plays a big role to perfect Mabala in order to stop pretending to know everything about agriculture. Why not? For example, Mabala does not know how to differentiate between sugar and fertilizer. Mabala later changed and became a good man. Another important character, though the minor character, is Mzee Kombo. Mzee Kombo in this short story is one of the villagers. He is a drunkard, but also is one among those who taught Mabala a lesson by advising him to take much alcohol because he starts working. Before he starts working, Mabala ended up sleeping the whole day in the farm. Dear listeners, welcome to content analysis of this short story. And the first content category is themes. What are the main ideas found in this short story? Theme number 1, hardworking. Hardworking simply means working with a lot of effort and determination. In this book, Mauja is a hardworking woman because in town she sells mats and chapatis to sustain life. But in the village, she worked on the farm alone at the beginning, and eventually she gets 60 bags of maize. Another theme is exploitation. To exploit means to use someone's resources unfairly. In this book, Mabala the farmer, Mabala is complaining on the salary he receives at his working place, and he compared it like buying 20 bottles of beer. This means that he was exploited by the company. Another theme is the issue of drunkenness. Both in town and the village, people drinking tama. Mabala says that when he was at town, he used to drink tama, but that of town was not sweet. In this book, Mabala and those men at Tama bar are shown as drunkard people because they spend most of their time drinking without working. The author sees this as a source of poverty to many families. Laziness. In this book, Mabala has been portrayed as the lazy character because he could drink mtama the whole day in spite of helping his wife to work in the shamba. Selfishness. This means thinking of yourself without considering others. In this book, Mabala is portrayed selfish because he eats the whole food without leaving just a little for his wife who was busy working in the shamba. Position of women. Women are being portrayed differently, both positively and negatively. Number 1. A woman is a tolerant person. Mauja is a case in point under this view. She tolerates life difficulties in her family. She never lost hope because of her husband's behavior. But also, a woman is portrayed as a hard-working fellow so as to improve her family life. Refer to Mauja. A woman is also portrayed as a very careful with money, as a very careful individual when it comes to spending money. But also, women have been portrayed as people with respect. That is Mama Martina or Mauja, who is eventually loved by many. Women are good advisors. Refer to Mauja, who advises her husband on how to cope with life in the village. Another theme is a theme of conflict. Conflict has been shown in different ways. There is the conflict that arises between Mabala and Mama Martina, and this happens in the farm on the question of how to put the fertilizer to the maize plant. Mabala says that the right way is to put the fertilizer on top of the maize plant and not otherwise, while Mama Martina insists that the fertilizer should be put below because it is going direct to the roots and hence the plant grow. The conflict becomes intense, but it eventually ends by Mama Martina agreeing to give her husband 2 rows of maize plants to put the fertilizer the way he thinks is right. The maize in the 2 rows ended up drying completely. There is also the conflict between Mabala and the villagers. When Mabala tells his fellow drunkards at Mtamaba that they were only drinking but never work. Conflict between Mabala and the school pupils, especially when the pupils love the conflict between Maritina and the school pupils, especially when the pupils laugh at Maritina because her father does not take other people's advice. What do we learn from this story? What are the messages found in this story? Well, number 1, we should be careful with the money. We should save for the future. We should take other people's advice so as to succeed in life. We should not be troublesome to others. Refer all these to Mabala as the main character. Drunkenness is a source of poverty and conflicts in the society. Life, whether in town or village, is not easy. We should work hard in order to succeed. Lastly, less people like Mabala never succeed in life until they decide to change. The last part of analysis is the relevance of this short story. Is the short story relevant to what is happening in the society of today? Well, the story is relevant. The story has got the relationship to our society in a number of ways. Number one, there are people who don't save money for the future. There are also some people who don't take other people's advice, like what Mabala does in the story. There are some